Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh-huh. Welcome to Sunshine Brown. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh-huh. That's what I'm gonna say. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, again. Welcome to Sunshine Brown. Welcome. Uh-huh. I am so happy that I could be here with you today. Uh-huh. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I am so happy that you could be here with me today. Uh-huh. For this moment in time. Oh my, my, my. Yes, yes. I'm so happy that you could be here. Okay, so listen. This has happened to me twice. The camera just starts, and I'm not even ready for it to go yet, but it just starts, okay? Now listen to me. Listen to me. So I've been working with this camera, sitting, trying to get this thing propped up, kind of, it's a little, different right now. And I'm telling you, I was like, Lord, I was talking to the Lord and everything. And then guess what he does? The Lord just puts the sunlight on me. Okay, I have it on video. Okay, and I said, you know what? I had to pause for a moment. You know why? Because I said, I can't make this stuff up. There's no way I can make this up. There is no way that I can make this up, God, is what I said. I said, there's no way. There's no way I can make this up. Okay? So I'm thinking to myself, like, there is no way that I could actually make this up. All right? So listen to this, okay? Let me keep going. So I meant to, of course, fix myself up beforehand before getting on camera, but that's okay. Look, and that too, it's okay. All right? So welcome to Sunshine Brown. Welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you. All right? So let's go ahead and move along, move along, move along. Okay. Now, listen to this. Listen to this. Okay, so you guys, I have not been on as frequent lately. Especially ever since I said I dropped a video one day some weeks ago, and I said, hey, I gotta be a little quiet. I got some things I'm working on. Okay, and then the other part is, I'm gonna tell you something. Moving and doing this and that, moving and packing is no joke, right? Okay, moving and packing is no joke, okay? Moving and packing is no joke. So listen to this, okay? I would like to, just chat with you about a few things, okay? I think on the last video I left off talking about something that I'm going to finish up today, okay? I'm going to finish it up today. What I had spoke about the last time. Yeah, I'm going to finish it up today. But listen, here it is. So while this is, on my mind, okay, I don't want to jump, though. I don't want to jump. I just don't want to jump, God. I don't want to jump, Because as soon as I finish this video, I'm going to post it right away. I'm going to post it right away, okay? So here it is. The video that I last put up. I know that I talked about um, children. I talked about kids and some things that I was mentioning about children, okay? And then I was going to give you a personal story, a true story about what happened to me dealing with some things with my children, okay? Now here it is. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me, okay? And let me tell you what I mean. Let me tell you what I mean. Okay. So there. Okay. Let me pipe down a bit. Okay. It's a very serious thing. This has been going on for a very long time. Okay. If a person or people or group can can get off what they want to do with your child, they will. It's true. It's true. If a person, group, or whatever want to get off what they can with your children, they will. Simple as that, okay? Now, it's true. It's true. Now, I'm going to tell you my true story. My true story that I'm about to share with you has been recorded, okay? All right. As a matter of fact, when I was doing this video and I started going into the part where I brought up the thing with the kids, my video cut off, but I couldn't understand why it shut off because I had much more time on it. Okay, and I was kind of like, what is that about? You know, was because what I'm about to tell you, I've already mentioned before. But I probably did it on a separate channel or something like that, or a different talk situation. You know, maybe it was something through texting or something I had mentioned. Okay, so here it is. Let me relax. Let me relax. Let me sit back and relax. Okay, so yeah. Now I'm in this beautiful energy. I'm feeling amazing. Okay. I want you. First of all, look. I want to do something. Now you see me. Okay. I just finished cooking and doing some other things, right? Which I have to tend to wrapping everything up, okay? Now, I remember, it's the reason I'm saying all this. I remember, this is what I focused on. I remember listening to this beautiful talk from Gloria Mayfield Banks, okay? If you haven't taken the time to look at her work or her, her great talks or whatever, you should. She's phenomenal. Do you understand? She is wonderful. And I remember one of her talks was, and it's something that I used to do when I was extremely on top, like extremely doing what I needed to do, focus on how, everything was just gelling perfectly, okay? And that's one thing is, something I kind of struggle with now, when you're in the house and you're working in the house and things like that, cutting it off, saying, hey, I got this to do. Leave me alone. Get away from me. Go read. Go do something, let me have my time, right? So one of the things I used to do, hey, I'll get right back to it. Let me do this because I got to take care of this. I got to call this person. I got to do this. Let me get right back to it. So I said, you know what? Guess what? Let me practice that today. Like Gloria Mayfield Banks said, guess what? If a cobweb is in the ceiling or whatever it is, you'll get back to it, okay? Or hire somebody else to clean it, okay? And the way she broke it down was much better than what I'm saying, okay? But she was just explaining to the ladies, it's funny how you get more done in business, or however, you're not worrying about those small little things that you can just get back to, okay? Or, after you wrap everything up, then you get back to it or whatever. So this is what I'm doing with you today. I said, I'm going to pause. Let me try this, God. Let me try to do what made me amazing before, right? Let's get back to it. So I said, I can get back to that, okay? So here it is. So what I want to share with you, my personal story dealing with, children, all right? Now, what it is that I had started explaining the video before this. I said, I guess I would be making this a part 2, I guess. Yeah. I said, I didn't go back and look at the ending of that video, but what I did say is there was a young lady that I had witnessed her pour out her heart about how she felt about some things and with her children, and she was spot on. If a mother had that feeling and she knows what she knows, she was spot on. She was dead on by what she said. Okay, so here it is. I remember something had came about. Okay, I was explaining about the neighborhood. Okay, so I was in this neighborhood. We moved to this neighborhood, and I was paying like $125 to $150 per week for my daughter to get to school, for my daughters to get back and forth to school. Okay? So, um, that's what I was doing. Okay, I got it. I got it. So, my oldest daughter was supposed to make sure that she dropped my, um, if it wasn't them being in a taxi, the way they would go to school, they would, ride the city transportation, get out to the school. My oldest daughter would drop her off, and then she would get to school. Okay. Now, while this rotation was going on, I was at home with, my own work, and then my new grandbaby or whatever. Okay. So that's the way they were getting back and forth to school. Okay. But I want to share with you, and you hear me say this. Okay. I'm not known to be a liar. As a matter of fact, everything that I've said, a lot of even the things that I have told you about before, people know that they all have come true. Okay, so that's why I'm telling my own personal story. I show up in truth with you. Okay, just listen to me. I just want you guys to really pay attention. Pay attention. Mind blowing. Okay, so here it is. Here it is. There were some days where my youngest daughter would get off, okay? She would get off the bus, okay? So she'd get off the bus, and my oldest daughter, kids don't always do what they're supposed to do. Sometimes she would, get her all the way there. It's just a little path that she has to, but still, I didn't want her to be herself at all, okay? So, make a long story short, you wouldn't believe how many people that are known people was watching my daughter. Now, what? Now, let me tell you something. No. Where the people that are around this person would clear the path. They would clear the path just so this person could drive by my daughter, or daughters, I should say. Do you hear me? Listen to me. All of a sudden, at this particular school, we started having issues. There was like some kind of counselor or something that had got really interesting. Okay, something that happened with my two daughters together, but it wasn't any like beating or anything like that. It wasn't anything like that. But something happened where that my daughter had a little something going on with her eye. Okay, and naturally anybody would say, "Hey, what's going on?" Boop boop boop. But it wasn't anything that would have you like this. Okay, I'm trying to get to it. Because this has been documented. Okay, this is my story. Make a long story short, before that even happened, I noticed that this one lady was always on me. And when I say on me, she just seemed really interested in me. Okay? She wasn't a school teacher. She was just someone that would just pop up. Now that I know how the system goes, people target you. Okay? You're known in the community for whatever or however. These people actually target you. Okay? Women will target you, especially ugly women. Okay? I'm just gonna say what it is. Especially ugly women. They will, I don't know what that's about, right? But they will, I don't know, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you what it really was, but they would target you. So I noticed that was happening. Then the thing came up where my daughter had like a little something with her eye. And she went to school and whatever, make a long story short, they called those people to come and check me out, right? So the lady comes to my home, and she says, I promise you, I said it, I talked about it on another video somewhere, probably on the other channel. She said, I don't see anything wrong with her eye. Why did they call? And the lady did it the same day. When I say the lady, I'm talking about one of the teachers. So not just the counselor type lady. There's another lady, okay? There's another lady that did this. I promise you. some teacher or whatever. And it's like they were just targeting my daughter. And it was like, what? Now, let me let you know. I've always been known as a really good mom. A mom that show up to the parent-teacher conferences. A mom that participates. Boop, boop, boop. That, I don't care how far the school is out, where it is. If it's not around the corner in the neighborhood, I don't care, okay? So, it wasn't Now the lady came over from them children's services people. I'm talking to you, girl. This message is for you if it ever gets to you, okay? Or whomever out there. The lady said, now wait, now look. Let me remind you. This was something that was said, and they came out the same day. All right? So when the lady got there, she came on in the house. And she was like, she looked at all of us. Because we were all together. My family we always together, right? And she looked around. You could tell her the way we lived, She said, why did they have me come here? I said, I don't know why they keep doing this to me. They just keep, it's always something. Okay? And that reminds me, I need to tell you about what happened before this. Okay, now I see. That's the reason I said the comment. They keep doing this to me. They keep doing this to me. Oh, thank you, God. Remember, I had moved, okay? I had mentioned the video before this that I moved. Okay. Stay with me. She said, well, they're not supposed to just be making up stuff. She looked at my daughter's face and nothing was there. Nothing. Zero, nada. Okay? I was pissed because I was tired of it. I was like, why they keep messing with me? Okay? Now I see why. Because a lot of, people say what they want about rules and stuff that they're making and different that, but school teachers, social workers, many of them people, they target people. They get off their job and they go into another job because they belong to groups and they circle around and they target people. Yes, they do. I have a daughter that's older, have her own story about how a school teacher used to treat her in school. She really did have a problem with the black girls, okay? She did. It's just plain, but not the black boys. Yeah. This is not a black and white a conversation that I'm having with you right now. I'm trying to tell you about how people are. If they can get something off, they will. They'll try to do it. Simple as that, okay? Coming up with all kinds of lies, and these people in a circle around you so they know who you are. I got some stuff that I could tell. I wish I could wrap it up in this one, okay? In this one, I wish I could wrap it all up. So anyway, we go. I'm going to try to remember that so I can tell you something. Here we are. So I'm pissed about it. But let me tell you what happened right before that in the house that we had just moved from. Okay? This is in the house we had just moved from. So I lived in this mini mansion, okay? And, that's the reason I was trying to keep my daughter at the same school. That's why I said, okay, even if I got to pay a taxi, or whatever. It wasn't Uber at the time that I was paying, but it was an actual taxi cab or a driver, okay? Or they got the city transportation. So what I dealt with before that is someone had called out of the blue, and I know what it was tied to, okay? That's a whole nother something. But somebody called out the blue and said, you need to check on, whatever the reason was. As a matter of fact, they didn't even give me a reason. What was the reason? Oh, yeah. I guess they did. They said my electric was off at the house. If anybody look back at the mini mansion that they know that I lived in, my electric was never off while I lived there. Okay? Here's me on the phone in disbelief that I'm dealing with this. But there's a reason that happened, okay? I'll make a long story short. I'm trying to say it in 20 seconds. If you can catch on, you can catch on. There was a situation, that happened in the very same building, where these people were lying to me and saying all these different things. And they were saying all of these things and playing in my face, okay? And I went there on my birthday. I went there on my birthday. I said, oh, let me go take care of some personal business. After dropping my kids off at school, I said, let me go take care of some personal business. Let me go see what's going on. Okay? I went right to that child support. I went to the child support office. Okay? Make a long story short. You ready for this? You ready for this? I'm on my way up to the child support office. I'm on my way up and I hit the button to go up on the floor. But the elevator happened to stop on a different floor. Okay, first, right? And guess who getting on the elevator? The father that they don't know where he at, but he worked there. I can't make this up. Did you hear what I just said? Okay? They don't know where he at, but he worked there and he already paid child support. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, here we go. Okay. That was that situation, okay? But this is what they did. They call themselves doing a hunt and a mess over on me. That's why a lot of those employees don't work there anymore, because they were doing all kinds of stuff that they had no business illegally. Targeting people, going through people's information, sharing it with the community. They were doing a lot, okay? So guess what? He worked there. Family worked there. People that I went to school with, though, he worked there. You know, he was even dating one of the girls or whatever, okay? And one other lady, whatever the case, okay? Will just have to do with me, right? I said, are y'all serious right now? Okay? This is real stuff I'm talking about, okay? Well, everybody playing. Let me give it to you real. Real stuff. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right? I said, okay. All right. Now, this is what happens right after that. The children services people, which was probably really some woman that liked him, came to my house, and she wanted to really see what I live. I was like, oh, you walk around, you go around. They said I didn't have electric. Now, wait a minute. Before I told her, come on out, I don't have anything to have. I said to her, they said my electric. I said, what? So they probably worked my electric bill hoping that I wouldn't be able to pay for it. Because I was only running my own business. I didn't clock in anywhere. I was only running my own business, okay? Yes, filing the 1099 every year, okay? Let me tell you what I did. I went and I took her the bill at the Department of Human Services, okay? I took her the bill at the Department of Human Services the same day. I said, excuse me? You know how much that bill was? That bill was $600. If I pulled it up right now, if they pulled it up right now, it would say that she paid $600. That wasn't good enough for the lady I was sitting at the conference table with. You see, y'all don't know about the crimes that I have dealt with, and they're crimes. I've dealt with real crimes here. She didn't want to see that I paid it. She really didn't. She didn't care, but she said that's the reason. They said the electric. Why would somebody say the electric is off in the house? Because you know why? They were coming for me intentionally. This is something that they do. Now I know. Of course, I didn't know then, but now I know. Okay? Yeah. There's some people that could have got locked up and still can get locked up. Because this has been an ongoing thing. Okay? So here it is. I go ahead and, I'm like, but you said that it was because the electric, and I'm showing you right here that the electric bill's been paid. On top of that, hold up. On top of that, you can call yourself. We can call right here at the table and show you. But she was like, well, I'm going to still need to come by. I should have known. I said, why would you need to come by? I said, well, guess what? I ain't got nothing to have. Come on by. So she came on by. Okay? I don't know what that was about because she already had seen that the bill was paid. Seen that I had my home refrigerator, everything, food. whatever, okay? And then that I was very creative, okay? Took me through that, okay? And so that's the reason, getting back to it, that's the reason the lady said when she came to me, I don't know why they keep calling on you. What are they doing? I was so pissed. You know what I did? I went to that office. I went back down to their office and I said, I need to know what this is about. That y'all keep targeting me and sending people after me when I do what I'm supposed to do. Who are you people? What is going on? And that's when I learned that they're not federal. They are a separate organization, a separate business. Did you hear that? They are a separate business. Okay? You know I'm on. Ain't no need of you flashing over my top with all this stuff. See, that ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work, baby. That's not gonna work. Moving right along. So I said, okay. Look at this. As a matter of fact, the manager that helped me when I was there that day downtown, after I seen that father, she is the same woman that got the call. If you paid attention to my videos, they got the call that actually I handed my personal information to when we were at the offsite place, when she came out to a place, for me to meet her, some place she was stationed up at. She's the same one that got the call about my information that she was looking at, okay? What folder I had it in and stuff, and then all my stuff came up missing. Same woman. Yes, I still remember her name. First and last. Yeah. This is how long I've been dealing with this. With these scandals. Keep on. Let me keep going. My time is running out. Okay, and plus I want to get to the next video. Listen to me. On top of everything, the people came out to talk to me. They said, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I don't know what this is about, whatever. She said, but I'll put you on the list where that they are not to contact you or bother you with any lies, because they had realized that I was being targeted for whatever reason. Okay? And guess what? The staff of the school was willing to participate. Did you hear what I said? So my thing to you is that a lot of people are already aware, in case y'all people don't know, school, teachers, staff do participate in things. And actually, I can get more detailed on what I'm talking about. I promise you, I can. And this is nothing against the great people, the good people that show up to work for what they are supposed to show up to work for. But there's a lot of other things that go down. There's a lot of things that happen with children in cars, riding with their parents, targeting families, and then they go to school and they mistreat these kids based on what their parents done talked about, what they know of, or the fact that they hate driving behind Susie Mae's family. What's up with them? Why are they so special? Why we got... I promise you, there's some real stuff. Did you hear me? I know you're playing the game, but you hold on. I'm online. Did you hear what I'm saying to you? This is real. My grandson. This is real. Okay? So, this is real. So there are several things that took place. But I had to go there and say, no, you tell me why and who exactly keeps sending this. Why am I dealing with all of this? That lady said, why would they have me come here? She checked my daughter. She said, I could tell how close you guys are, how y'all live, everything. And this lady's probably somebody already has set her eyes on us. Let me keep going. Hold up. Situation. We moved into that mini mansion. And you know how they like to drop off school supplies or whatever the case is, and they say we're doing a whatever, okay? Now, this is something that's real and that's true. Just like I had to meet someone later on that had a mask on their face. They had a mask on their face, okay? When I was meeting them, acting as if they met me for the first time, okay? They were a lady that came to my mini mansion to drop off stuff, and she was the supervisor of this place that I was at. I was able to call her by name, but the whole time that lady act like she didn't know who I was. Hello, Megan. Yeah. I said, oh, I remember you had a mask on and everything, because I don't care if you have a mask on, and I need to know who you are, and God wants me to know who you are. He'll let me know. Oh. There's not a lot of Dominique Browns, baby. There's not a lot. And hello. Okay? And hello. So I'm just sharing with you this thing where people will have you in situations and things like that. That's very real. People will know what's going on, what's being plotted, what's in the works against you or whatever, and they'll come together collectively and act like they don't know. Okay? People that have personal people, and then they do it for all these reasons that shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Okay? I want to say, yes, keep up with your children. And like my mama always told me, and I live by it, keep up with your hands and your feet. Okay? Keep up with your hands and your feet. Okay? Yes. People do, and one thing I want to add, a huge thing. People come into your life, and like you can have kids, and they admire your children. Oh, they love like things about your kids, and I mean it could be to the point where they wish they could take your kids or have your children, or I wish they were mine, or what. And you guys need to chill, and you should be ashamed of yourself if you didn't birth your kids or whatever. And then a lot of times these are people that have already had kids and they didn't do right by their kids, or they didn't spend enough time with their kids, okay? Or something that happened, okay? Or they wasn't. It's usually that, okay? I know, but I mean these are facts. These are things that I have watched. These are things that I have studied. I have seen how people didn't do so good with their kids, and then they have everything to say about somebody else and their children. Not that you're doing bad or anything like that. They just want them. Oh, I just want such and such. Oh, I just want them from, my thing is, you ain't have them. Go sit your ass down. Okay? You go and sit down. Quit trying to move parts and play with people and their children. Okay? Just saying. I know more. Thanks. On to the next video.